For the first time since 2019, Bitcoin just had over 12 red hourly candles in a row. However, these red candles mean opportunity, and we managed to long the exact bottom in my community. In today's video, we'll be talking about exactly this. We'll also be going over the recent Bitcoin price action and taking a look at some other charts to see how the crypto market is doing. If you enjoy the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Let's jump right into the video. To kick off the video, I have to talk about our insane entry on Bitcoin. We entered along right around 103.6K, which is basically the perfect bottom. Now I'm on the 5-minute chart, and of course, Bitcoin went ahead and had a massive pump. And if you don't believe me, if you check our community here, you can see that we went ahead and posted the exact trade signal over here. Entry level, $103,700, and you can see that our exact entry was right around $103,638. Literally one of the most perfect entries we could have had, and now Bitcoin is seeing a nice big pump. Now the question is, can we keep on pumping despite all of the war escalations? By the way, if you want to join my free Telegram community where we have some of these calls, you have the first link in my description down below. Just a reminder, you do need to DM me the word signals in my main Telegram group to get access to the free signals group, and I'll be onboarding you onto my exchanges so you can go ahead and start trading. Now, back to the Bitcoin chart. Let's zoom out a little bit because I was just showing you the 5-minute chart. We can see right now that we did have a pretty big dump as war escalations continued. And right now, we are just trickling above the monthly open. Now, if we can continue to hold this level as support, all is well, and Bitcoin does have a chance to move much higher and liquidate some more shorts, as we've been discussing, not just on the YouTube channel, but also within my free community. And the reason I'm saying this is because we're seeing more and more shorts pile up here, creating a ton of liquidity to be grabbed. Also, if we zoom out a little bit more on the 30-day time frame, a ton of shorts have continued to enter into the market as the price of Bitcoin goes down. It's pretty insane to me. We get one green daily candle, everyone goes long. We get one red daily candle, everyone seems to go short. And right now we have way more shorts in the market than long. So pay attention here if you're shorting this market, because I do think that we're about to see a liquidation cascade. We already liquidated a ton of longs, and now I think it is time for us to trickle on higher and liquidate some shorts. Now, if we look at the total value here, we can see that if Bitcoin were to go all the way up to around $120,000, which I don't think is highly likely given the summer chop thesis, but if we were to go that high, there would be just under $15 billion worth of cumulative short liquidation leverage. On the flip side though, if Bitcoin were to go down to $90,000, there is only around $8 billion worth of cumulative long liquidation leverage. So pay attention here. You know my base case, and I will try to keep it extremely clear once again. 1, I think that Bitcoin will easily find its way back below 100K at some point, especially during the summer chop. But 2, there are still way too many shorts in the market, which tells me we're likely going to start targeting a lot of this liquidity. And a potential scenario here, after Bitcoin got this dump and we did hold this crucial support level, is if we zoom out a little bit more, there is a ton of liquidity up here built up right around $110,000. And if we go back to our liquidation map, we can see exactly what I'm talking about. Most of the liquidity for this cumulative short liquidation leverage can be found between $109,000 all the way up to $111,000, which makes a lot of sense because it is around the previous all-time high. But we got rejected around 110K a lot of times, which triggered a ton of shorts in the market. So pay attention to these levels, because I do think that during our summer range, there is a chance that we go up to these levels, maybe even sooner than we think. And so if we take a look at Ethereum, I mean, there's not much to say. The market is very much determined by Bitcoin at this point, especially with all of the war escalations. But if I zoom out a little bit more and we go on the weekly time frame, I mean, look at how wicky this is. I personally tried to long Ethereum only to get absolutely wrecked. And so this is very, very tricky to navigate. There's a lot of indecision here, and it likely has to do with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin decides it wants to crawl up higher to liquidate some of those shorts, of course, Ethereum has a strong chance. But I don't think that we're going to see Ethereum put anywhere near an all-time high this summer, especially if we're talking about my Bitcoin chop summer thesis. Now, I know a lot of people absolutely hate my summer chop thesis because they think that I don't have conviction, but we've seen this time and time again. Bitcoin does like to chop around during the summer. It's pretty unfavorable seasonality, not just for Bitcoin, but also for stocks. And that is part of the reason why I think that we will be chopping around during the summer. And we are likely to have some kind of other scare in Q3, in my opinion. So prepare yourselves for that, because I do think it could be a very good accumulation level. Now, this is more medium term here, and I will make sure to cover the day by day on the channel. So if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. But that is my thesis. Summer chop. Whether you like it or not, I will stand firm on this until proven otherwise. Now, back to the charts. If we take a look at the total crypto market cap, excluding the top 10 cryptocurrencies, we can see that we're now getting rejected at the bull market support band, which would suggest to me that into the summer, this metric is likely going to go lower, which is of course not favorable for altcoins. This also aligns with exactly what we've been talking about, Bitcoin dominance continuing to increase. And would you look at that? Yesterday, we talked about how the candle for the week started off red, and now we are already green with how much Bitcoin has been chopping around. So guys, Bitcoin is still the place to be. I don't think it is time to get into altcoins, and I will keep on repeating myself on this matter just so you guys don't get wrecked. Because if Bitcoin goes ahead and does correct sub 100K, maybe even sub 90K over the course of the summer chop, then altcoins will get absolutely annihilated, as we've come to expect. I will be telling you exactly when I start dollar cost averaging into altcoins, and that is likely to be when altcoins go towards their range lows against Bitcoin. So let's see how that plays out. But ultimately, I am still fully in Bitcoin, and I do have a very strong cash position in preparation for another big dump in the market. For now, though, there's a ton of shorts, and so we cannot be super confident that Bitcoin will just absolutely nuke from here. And that sums up today's extremely quick video. Bitcoin came down, and in our community, we managed to catch the local bottom at this point in time. Of course, there's already some profit taking happening, but Bitcoin can still easily go below $100,000 at some point during the summer choppy range. I know that's probably not what you'd like to hear, but it's just my base case. Also, apologies for the extremely short video, but ultimately nothing has really changed in the market. Liquidity is continuing to get built up with the shorts, and I am expecting Bitcoin to continue to chop around and wreck a lot of traders as we start to establish this summer range. And just a reminder, if you'd like to join my free Telegram community where I do talk about some trade setups, as well as my Signal group, if you're into that kind of stuff, you have the first link in my description down below. If you enjoy the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video, which will likely be a lot longer than this one.